It's not my first time.
Which color do you want?
Second time.
The blue one and the red one is for Jungfrau. Such a pastel blue is actually for women who have husband.
I like blue. That's a big problem.
But Maria, maybe you should not choose blue one, but it means you are, how can I say, in marriage. No, just for information.
Hey, 안녕.
무슨 북한이야? 이렇게 잘 어울리는데.
한번 봤어? 뭔데? 아 진짜. 그냥 혼자 갈게. 아니.
잘 어울려요. 너무 이뻐요. 2번은? 뭐 하는 거야? 똥 싸요? 똥 싸요? 너무 잘 어울려요. 마리아님 결혼하셨나 봐요?
I didn't choose blue.
Yeah. We're actually for we proud in marriage.
네.
이거는
안 결혼했어.
아이들.
동사 나는 아이들.
There is a such hanbok rental shop nearby castle.
Yeah.
So foreigner can also enjoy their own Korean culture.
In Germany, we also have like the traditional Oktoberfest. It was in Korea as well, right? And I think they could make a lot of money if they put like our traditional clothes for, you know, the Oktoberfest in front of there. I think many Korean would also try that because it's a cool experience to try the traditional clothes, and you learn a lot. I mean, you told us about which girl would wear which outfit, right?
It's a base one for unmarried age woman.
Yeah, because you didn't propose. I'm salty about that.
한국에 있는데. 아니 나 이거 입어봤어 나는. 이거 옛날에 세배할 때 입는 거야 이거.
But I think it's really kind of nice that there is a such hanbok rental shop nearby castle.
Right, it's very, very good. Good strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish we had the same stuff in Poland because we also have like national costume that could be very well promoted, but even Polish people don't care about it.
It's
so,
kind of sad.
yes. So why foreigner would care if Polish people don't care?
I mean, the whole their own culture is also really
Yeah.
important for the culture and
Yeah.
for economy also.
Yeah, I mean only folk costumes are promoted, but not our national noble costume.
Good. Thank you for your insight. Maria is really good. It's fascinating. Is actually nearby such a traditional castle. Already the city is located in nearby the castle. There is also
Yeah.
city life.
Yeah, sometimes they stare at you. They're like, why is she wearing hanbok? Yeah, you have to.
Can you see that the statues on the floor?
You really said you.
Right.
This one.
Actually, it is such an animal, imaginary animal who we believe they actually protect. Hey, a 해치?
Hechi, but always
Hechi?
치도야. It's also one. Protect us from the fire or so rainy, heavy rainy. So. 나보다 더 잘하시는 것 같아.
Interesting. Oh, sorry. Actually,
It's very important to have the dynamic stream of water next to such places as Royal Palace or
Okay.
maybe other important places,
Yeah.
maybe temple.
So really important where the castle located in.
And whether if the specialist of Pungsu, he said no, it's very bad energy, you can't construct this building, you must change the place, the location, and you see there are times.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's always a kind of synergy between mountains, water,
and
너무 잘하시네.
different than Europe. Because you've got 5 elements as well.
yeah.
Alex, can you explain actually? Those people who wearing hanboks must not pay for the entrance fee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's really.
It's a good idea to encourage tourists and
Yeah.
welcome.
I think it's also nice because it gives a good picture of Seoul and the Korean culture. Because every Korean who walks in here or foreigner which is not in Hamburg, they can take pictures which are quite beautiful of other people.
cheap advertisement.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's really smart.
Cheap budget.
Didn't even wear panties underneath back then. Is that true? Because in Europe, until the 19th century, there was no underwear.
panties? Eh?
Yeah,
Really?
women have just to lift up their skirt in order to go to the toilet.
Interesting. 누가 레디?
도끼 같아요.
저분들?
이 모자가 도끼 같아요.
너 사실 왕이야 왕.
아 진짜?
왕들이나 왕자.
도끼 왕.
토끼 왕.
귀엽게 생겼어요.
여기는 옛날 성, 여기는 도시.
아 네.
우리 여자들은 저 어딘가 혼자 놀고 있네. 중전 마마 납시요. 중전 마마분들 오십시오. 가시죠. 네, 경희루로. There is a party place. We call it 경희루. It's such a place where the kingdoms and the office, the higher level officer had such party and drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, party room.
But I'm a peasant.
Actually, there's a story. At the time, there was a princess at Myeongseong Hwangwoo. During the war times between Japan and Korea, the Japanese soldier killed the princess and threw the body in the water down.
It sounds awful.
I mean, it's party place,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it is a story.
It's interesting.
이 부분은 취두인데 이 부분은 잡상이에요.
어유 마리아님 너무 저보다 많이 한국어를 아는 것 같아요.
그리고 다른 외국인들은 가끔씩 폴란드에 대해서 저보다 더 많은 지식이 있어요.
아.
그래서 저도 우리나라에 대해서 약간 많은 지식이 있는데 근데 가끔씩 외국인들은 저보다 더 많은 지식이 있어요.
되게 겸손하시네요. 성훈이는 알았어 지두라는 거? 나도 몰랐어 사실. 그러네 문 사이로 문이 들어가네. 이렇게. 예쁘다.
The water reflects the building.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
역시 전공인이 다르네.
맛이야.
음식을 찾아요.
Yes. I mean, that there are many foreigners here in such places, and I think it's the effect of Korean wave. I mean, I do not criticize people for following the Korean wave, but I think in many cases it looks like this. Oh, I like K-pop, I'll come to Korea, take a picture in a fancy place like this, upload on Insta, that's all done. So maybe that was the case, maybe.
Yeah.
But I
So I mean, we have to prepare more content for foreigners, which they enjoy.
well, I
It's
just
more
think that-
mainstream.
yes, I think it's more
Yeah.
mainstream. So
아 네. 감사합니다. 네 전화 주세요.
We walked a lot, like service or peasants.
it's my third time in Gyeongbokgung, and I enjoyed it because today the weather is really nice, and it's first time I'm wearing hanbok, so it's quite exciting. Thank you so much.
No
and
problem.
today I think I saw this place from another perspective, so I think that was the
Oh.
greatest thing.
Pleasure. It's
Yeah.
pleasure to me.
Yeah.
Actually, only can add that every castle in Korea looks different. And it's quite nice to travel around Korea and see the differences. 배고파요.
We're hungry.
Oh,
We going to eat a kalguksu.
what is kalguksu?
Kalguksu actually a noodle which is really thin sliced, but it's not like a naengmyeon, but it's kind of white meal noodle.
Ah, okay.
But it's not spaghetti.
Ah, okay, but it's noodles in soup, right?
Right.
And which soup?
There's a lot of sort
Like a
of
broth or?
broth, yeah.
Oh, is there also a vegan version or vegetarian?
Yeah, there are also
Ah,
version
okay.
of the vegan.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Actually.
Nearby
yeah.
Sicheon, there's always so many restaurants.
Yeah.
We're going to there. 조족 칼국수.
Oh, wow. It looks nice. Service in Korea is really nice. In Germany, you don't get this one, and I think aprons are not available.
No, at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I have never seen it in any European country.
yeah.
But in Poland.
No, with only in certain like maybe very expensive restaurants, but I have never seen
Such
such apron in the restaurant.
손님이 울리고 손이 가비.
But I think it's historical issue after communism period. Right now, some people think that customer another problem.
Okay.
I mean, at the time, the how can I say, the value of the workers are underestimated.
yes.
So they
Yeah.
need to actually, how can I say, make the value of the worker higher.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Germany is also a country in Europe, so every country's history is quite connected.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
감사합니다.
와, 맛있게 보여.
맛있게 드세요. 감사합니다.
사전이
네.
팬케이크인가?
하전?
팬케이크. 영어로?
아니 팬케이크 아니야. 팬케이크 like sweet.
코리안 팬케이크. No.
Popular in Poland,
What?
seafood? No.
No, fish in the north, yes, but not
Okay.
seafood.
Yeah, it's quite the same for Germans.
Yeah.
I mean, in Europe, there is only one side, only one on the side.
Yeah.
There is the ocean. So
Yeah. 네, 잘 먹겠습니다.
이게 3일분이야? 2만 9천 원.
와.
어, 진짜 커요.
이게 딱 먹어. 그리고 고기가 진짜 많아.
냄새가 좋아.
이거는
오.
이 깨끗한 먹어 깨끗한.
와, I'm older than you. I mean, he's younger. Usually in Korean culture, the younger one serves the older one.
So it means Sung actually is charge
Did you
of
hear
the.
it? 유교 문화에 따르면 어린들은 나이 더 많은 사람을 잘해줘야 돼. 그래 누나야?
유교 문화가 요리해줘야 돼.
아니 먼저 나이 이따가 성별.
오, 마리아 너무 센데요?
잘 먹겠습니다.
반갑습니다.
오.
와,
손님이 강하지 않고 딱 강하요.
it's a bit surprising. You are just slurping the soup, and we are. It's so hot. Koreans always eat so hot. I'm like. I think Koreans are even more leveled up. They eat hot and spicy. It's like the mouth. Just once. Yeah, just once. Oh, I struggle. Oh, these ones. 이거 진짜 좋아해요. 맛있어.
I think one of the charming thing of Korean is actually we have to work for that. I mean, we have to pay out our muscle, and I think it's kind of fun. 너 구찌 먹었어?
그거 맵지 않아요.
맵지 않아요?
처음 구찌인 것 같은데?
그냥 안 매워요.
어.
거짓말하는 거 아니에요?
진짜 이거 맵지 않아요.
없지 않아요?
얼고추.
아, 우리 고치야? 다행이네.
괜찮아요. 등산한 후에 아저씨 항상 맛집에 가고 있어요.
우리 대학교 한국인 교수님이 이런 말씀하셨어요. 빠져는 아저씨 음식이에요.
맞아요.
그때부터 한참 빠져 먹을 때 이런 생각이 났어요.
하나 막걸리.
난 아저씨가?
맞아.
제가 한국에서 잘 접근할 수 있게 구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.